What's happening, boxing fans? It is Dr. Bring It. You guys having a good day today? Well, guess what? Today is Friday the 13th. I'm not superstitious though, people. So hopefully you guys are not as well, and hopefully you guys are having an outstanding and fantastic day. But hey, before we get into boxing, I just wanted to talk to you guys about physical mismatches. So I'm not sure if you guys even knew, but I used to play a lot of volleyball back in the day. I, of course, stand only at 5'8". And I got up to a certain level where I was playing up against some really tall, and I'm talking about like 6'5", 6'7", standing at like, you know, guys are this much taller than me, okay? And I would play against these people. Now, playing up against, you know, these guys, like maybe like 1 or 2 matches, that was fine. But where I really fell short was towards the end of the tournament. These day tournaments lasted for the entire day pretty much. And if we got into the playoffs, that's where size actually really showed that it mattered. Let me explain why. Well, punch for punch, I would be able to go up there and spike against these people. But what happens is that in order for me to get to the same height over the net, blocking or spiking, I would have to try that much harder than my 6'5" competitors. It would take me that much more effort and work. So towards the end of the day, after 4 or 5 hours worth of tournament, I would be so busted up. Whereas my 6'5" opponents, they'd be like somewhat fresh. That's where the size really mattered. So let's just bring that to boxing. When you have 2 fighters that are similar in skill, one of them's taller and one of them's not so tall, size actually matters, because we'll start seeing all of those things come into play towards the championship rounds, towards the end rounds. The shorter fighter has to work that much harder against his taller opponent. Let's just keep that in mind. Now, the only way that the shorter fighter is going to win is if he has attributes that create a bigger mismatch. So in terms of Manny Pacquiao, how has he been able to win against taller fighters? Well, you know what? That mismatch that he has is his speed, his skill, and his power. Those are the 3 things. And actually, you know what? And stamina, because he's been able to actually fight for the entire 12 rounds in a focused manner. That's how he's been able to create that mismatch against taller opponents. So where are we getting to this? This video is about the possibility of a Manny Pacquiao versus Mikey Garcia fight. Mikey Garcia, of course, is coming off of a loss against Errol Spence Jr. Now, to a lot of people think that Errol Spence Jr. completely demolished and dominated over Mikey Garcia. Well, according to the stats, that's really not too far from the truth. Is Errol Spence Jr. that much of a better boxer than Mikey Garcia? I don't necessarily think so. I think the 2 of them have pretty similar skill sets in the sense that they're both fundamental fighters. In my last video, I talk about, you know, and praise Errol Spence Jr. being a very fundamentally sound fighter. But you know what? When you watch Mikey Garcia, he's also fundamentally sound. Now, does he have holes in his game? Of course he does. But overall, there's a reason why he's got a 75% knockout rate, according to BoxRec. He's got a really good jab. He's got a really good chin. He took a lot of hits from from Errol Spence Jr., took hits against Adrian Broner. He has body shots that he employs in his game. He has good footwork. He has pretty good defense, although I don't like the fact that he doesn't have as much head movement as I would like to see, especially for a fighter who likes to stand in front and move forward. I would think that he should probably employ a lot better head movement. That's what I would like to see with Mikey Garcia. But overall, man, he is a tough fighter. He's got a lot of courage, a lot of heart. And honestly, I actually like listening to a lot of his commentary. Dude, the guy seems really down to earth. He knows obviously what he's talking about. He's a professional boxer, and he's a champion. So how is he gonna fight and match up against Manny Pacquiao though? The two of them, he's 5'6", Manny Pacquiao 5'5.5". He's got a 68-inch reach, whereas Manny Pacquiao 67-inch. So is there a huge physical mismatch? No. Where I think Manny Pacquiao is going to excel is obviously his hand speed and his foot speed. Manny Pacquiao has the ability to go in and create holes. So yes, Mikey Garcia, he's got some pretty good defense, okay? He's fundamentally sound. However, once Manny Pacquiao goes in with his feet, closes the distance, he'd be able to make some opportunities by going up top, going to the body. You've seen it. He knows how to create these holes by coming in and overwhelming his opponents. And I think Mikey Garcia definitely has his work cut out for him, because it's really tough to prepare for a Manny Pacquiao, because you're not sure how he's going to come in and what he's going to be leading with. And especially the fact that Manny Pacquiao has made a career from punishing lazy jabs. Now, does Mikey Garcia have a lazy jab? Well, I don't want to say that it's a lazy jab. That sounds so bad. But I don't think his jab is necessarily authoritative and counterpunch proof. I think as a fighter, it takes a really special athlete to be able to get rid of your bad habits. And I think Mikey Garcia, unless again, is he a champion? Is he an elite fighter? Absolutely. But I think if he really wants to fight against a Manny Pacquiao, he's gonna have to employ a jab that is not susceptible to a counterpunch. Does that make sense? I think his jab kind of goes out there and stays out there, not where he comes in and just says boom and then comes back. Okay, I think his jab, he likes to kind of hang out there, but those are the kind of jabs that Manny Pacquiao will eat alive for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. So Mikey Garcia, if you're listening, you got to get that snap in your jab and cover right away. And when he's moving back, he's got to cover on his way out. And I know Mikey Garcia, he's got that style that likes to stand in front, covers up, and doesn't really like to move back too much. But when he does move back, he has to cover and make sure that he's not going to get caught on the way out, which is, again, Manny Pacquiao's specialty. So is there a mismatch here? The mismatch between these two fighters is Manny Pacquiao's relentless speed. His foot speed, his ability to go in and out, and I don't think he's going to have that much of a difficulty against Mikey Garcia. However, here's the big however. These are the kind of fights that people overlook. Mikey Garcia has a 75% knockout rate for a reason. He has the power to knock out opponents. He's proven it. So should Manny Pacquiao sleep on Mikey Garcia? That would be a very dangerous thing to do. Now, Mikey Garcia's camp, I think, has gotten Manny Pacquiao wrong for a very long time. Now, to say that Manny Pacquiao, all he has is his left hand, or he just does the same combinations over and over, again, if they come up with this kind of strategy and get Manny Pacquiao wrong again, when are you going to learn? Manny Pacquiao has Freddie Roach behind him. They are going to be going to the tapes against Mikey Garcia. They're going to see all of these different traps that they could set up against Mikey Garcia. They're not going to go in there blind thinking that Manny Pacquiao's athleticism is just going to simply beat him. That would not be the right thing to do. So you could definitely bet that Manny Pacquiao is going to have a game plan that is tailored exactly for Mikey Garcia. They are not going to sleep on Mikey Garcia. That would be really foolish, because Mikey Garcia has the ability to knock out not just Manny Pacquiao, but any of his opponents that he goes up against. Especially if you're going to be going against Mikey Garcia unprepared. So, what do you guys think? Am I being biased, do you think? Or am I pretty much on point here? Again, I really like Mikey Garcia as a fighter. I think he has all the fundamentals, all the shots, the defense, the lungs to be able to last the 12 rounds, just like he did against Errol Spence Jr. But I think when you match these two fighters up, I think Manny Pacquiao has enough speed, has enough power and stamina, even at 40 years old or 41 if they meet next year. I think he still has enough to beat a Mikey Garcia. Now, what do I think about him not going for Spence? I think he should be going up against, the winner between Errol Spence Jr. and Sean Porter. I'm not really quite sure why he's going against Mikey Garcia or even considering a fight with Mikey Garcia, unless, of course, this is going to be setting him up to go down in weight for a possible Lomachenko fight in the future. Again, I think that might be a stretch. Again, I'm not too convinced that Lomachenko really wants a fight against Manny Pacquiao, but it kind of makes sense at this point. That's the only way that I can make sense of this. And of course, the people who kind of hate on Manny Pacquiao will say that Manny Pacquiao is just ducking Errol Spence Jr. I can't really speak to that. I really don't know what's going on behind closed doors in the negotiation rooms. But I would have to say that, do we honestly really need to see Manny Pacquiao go against Errol Spence Jr.? I don't necessarily think so. Manny Pacquiao has earned the right and the privilege to be able to choose whoever the heck he wants to fight. So yeah, I guess he could fight Mikey Garcia if he wants. He could fight Danny Garcia. He could fight, Sean Porter if he loses to Errol Spence. He can fight whoever the heck he wants, to be quite honest with you. And at this point, it's just whatever. He's a moneymaker. Everyone wants Manny Pacquiao. Everyone wants him. Why? Because he's the biggest name in boxing at this point. Anyone else can dispute that. People are paying. That fact is in the numbers. People are paying to watch Manny Pacquiao worldwide. So chime in. Let me know what you think. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Please share this video out to other boxing fans out there and let me know what you think. All right, have a great Friday the 13th. Talk to you soon.